Good morning, I'm Rob Biddle.
Morning, Rob. Roger Mabel.
Morning, Bud Potts. I'll be a relief pilot today.
Great. Okay, guys, let's get ready for our Frankfurt charter. Tell you a little bit about me. I've been on the airplane about 6 years, and I've got lots of experience on the 747. I've been off for the last month, though, with a great vacation with the family. My last flight on the 74, I flew a flight from Chicago to Frankfurt and over to London. Same trip we're doing this time. Why don't you tell me a little about yourselves?
All right. I've been on the airplane 3 years now, and last month I did 3 Narita Hong Kong trips for the month.
Actually, fairly new to the airplane. Finished training about 2 months ago. Had a couple domestic trips. Had one Frankfurt, one pairing, and then kind of new to it. So.
All right, guys, when we're out flying, if you notice anything that's unusual, it's confusing, or something that's incorrect, please bring it to my attention right away so we can handle the situation properly. If you guys have any questions with my actions or anything that I'm saying, please feel free to interrupt me at any time, and we can handle the situation properly.
Okay.
And finally, guys, if there's a hazardous situation that comes up, feel free to take whatever actions necessary for the safe operation of the airplane, and we can handle the debrief later. All right, guys, let's get down to it. Taking a look at the local weather conditions, we might be able to figure out what runway we can expect. Looks like perhaps runway 32 left full length, or maybe 32 left from intersection T10, possibly runway 32 right might be our departure runways today.
Rob, we pulled up the weather earlier and looked at it as well, and we concur with the runway assessment. We also noticed if we go to 32 right, we'll need to be concerned about the construction area that's right out here on Hotel.
We'll plan on those runways, but we'll guard against fixation on going to any of those particular runways. Roger, let's take a look at some of the runway incursion hotspots.
Rob, I noticed that the hotspot highlighting leaves a little bit to be desired on this chart, so I took and highlighted the ones that would be concerned especially with, so we can be cognizant of those as we taxi out.
Oh, that's a great idea. That's a great idea. It's nice to have that ahead of us so we can see it ahead of time and plan for it. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about the ground movement portions for our operations today. Now we'll review this again once we get into the cockpit at the airplane. I want you guys to know what you can expect from me and also what I expect from you. Okay, guys, something additionally that's very important. Once the clearance is given to us, I want us to be able to copy down not only the runway that we're going, but also the taxiways in sequence from where we are to where we're going, just in case we get confused as we're taxiing out. As we're taxiing out, I want us to use the airport diagram. Everybody should have it out and available. And as we get taxi clearances, I would like everybody to write down the routing and also make announcements as we're continuing on. For example, as we're taxiing southbound on taxiway Tango, we'd make announcements something like this: taxiway Tango, right turn at intersection T10, hold short of the runway. And I want verbal confirmation from one of you.
All right. Okay.
And Roger, you brought up a great point about the construction area. As we're coming up to the construction area, let's not proceed toward there until we're sure we actually have proper wing clearance as we taxi beyond that.
Okay.
Additionally, on the airport diagram, we'll be conscious of the notes that are here prohibiting certain size aircraft on particular taxiways.
Right.
And fellas, when we're taxiing out, and if there's any time that you need to be heads down for any reason, that's fine. Just make an announcement so we all can cover for you while your head's down. I know how busy you are as a first officer on our taxi out. Also, if you're off the air for any reason and not listening to ATC, that's fine. Make an announcement as well so we can cover for you until you come back from what you're doing. As we're taxiing up to a runway and are given hold short clearances, we'll make sure that we verbalize that so everybody's conscious of our position on the airport, that we won't cross any hold short clearances. When we taxi onto the runway, I'll be turning on the strobe lights, and I won't be turning on the takeoff lights until we actually are cleared for takeoff. Now, if I happen to forget that, please go ahead and reach up and turn on the lights for me in case I miss that.
Okay.
When we get into position for takeoff, what we'll do is we'll have our TCAS set at the lowest range in center map so we can watch any approaching aircraft that are coming from behind us. We'll also remember to do that on landing no later than 3 mile final, just to make sure that we don't have anybody coming up behind us as well on our rollout.
Okay.
And as you know, having our TCAS set on center and lowest scale, it'll greatly add to our situational awareness, especially on landing in Frankfurt. As you know, they're parallel runways, and it's very important that we have our guard up for any aircraft that are coming up from behind. Also, when we're in position, and it's been over a minute since we've been given clearance to take into position and hold, if we don't hear anything from tower, we'll query ATC.
Okay.
Once takeoff clearance has been received, I'll make sure that I turn on the takeoff lights before moving the throttles forward. Now, if for some reason I forget, please remind me, or else go ahead and reach up and turn the lights on.
Rob, as we taxi out by that construction area, if I see a collision threat, do you want me to stop the aircraft?
Absolutely. In fact, if there's no time to react or discuss about it, I want you to take the appropriate action to ensure a safe flight. For example, if we're taxiing, you need to slam on the brakes, so be it.
Okay.
Okay, guys, on the final couple items about taxiing, I didn't mention things like low visibility taxiing or taxiing with one or multiple engines shut down. I don't anticipate using those particular procedures on this flight, but in the future, if necessary, I'll make sure to brief them, but if I forget, please remind me to do so.
All right, Captain.
Okay, guys, once we get up to cruise, we'll discuss things such as ATC phraseology differences on coast out, and also we'll talk about it again as we're descending for approach and landing into Frankfurt. Once again, if I forget those, to brief those items, please remind me to do so.
All right.
Okay, guys, if you don't have any questions, we'll move on to our dispatch, our maintenance, and our performance briefing.
Okay. All right. No questions.